Teachers union leader calls for fully reopening schools this fall. This is a Politico story. AFT President Randy Weingarten called for schools to reopen full-time and in person this fall and set out multi-million-dollar outreach campaign to coax pronounce that word for me. Coax families back to campuses as President Joe Biden administration passes for a quick resumption of regular classes. The chief of the 1.7 million member labor group said political pressure from Republican lawmakers didn't factor into her school reopening call to the AFT on Thursday. Really? Let me read that one more time. The chief of the 1.7 million member labor group said political pressure from Republican lawmakers didn't factor into her school reopening call to the AFT on Thursday, nor, she said, did any new coronavirus with Biden administration about school reopening during the COVID-19 pandemic. She instead cited expanded eligibility for coronavirus vaccines, her own visits to schools, carrying out the federal safety guidance for reopening, plus hundreds of billions of dollars in federal aid now being delivered to K through 12 schools. Anyways, we're going to see what's going to happen. The good news is that there are finally people from teachers union realizing keeping kids at home not only hurts marriages nonstop, you're hurting people to get back to work because some parents can't afford to have a babysitter to be with the kid when they're going to school. There's a lot of different risks. I talked to a friend of mine yesterday. She called. We had a conversation together, and she lives in L.A. She's got 3 kids, her and her husband. But husband's one of my top 5 best friends I have. Good guy. You met him before. So we're having a conversation together. And she said, so how are things? I said, kids have been going back to school the entire time. What are you talking about? Yeah, there was like a slight little break in Texas, but they've been going back to school. You're serious? Yeah. I said, how are things over there in California? Pat, you don't understand. No one's going to school. They're home.
Period.
Period. Yeah. Like, what are you talking? It's as
Your
if.
kids too?
It's as if you're living in a different world. They're finally getting. So here's what's starting to happen with politics. Let me tell you what's starting to happen with politics. Democrats and Republicans, okay? Sometimes when you are a registered Democrat, you almost feel obligated to have to support everything that is on the ballot box of what? All Democrats.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you're a Republican, you kind of feel like obligated to say, okay, yes, right? I have to agree with everything.
Yep.
I think what is starting to happen is people are starting to say, dude, forget about being a Democrat or a Republican. This shit just doesn't make any sense. We got to open up the schools. What the hell are we doing here? Mm-hmm. What are we doing here? Staying loyal to a political party? Let's open the damn schools, and it's starting to happen. Tom.
Well, I'm very, very emotional and fired up about this topic because here's one thing we learned over the past 14 years is just how powerful teachers' unions are. And it's extremely political, and they held cities hostage. And I'm still very, very annoyed at them. I don't think an industry has taken a hit more than the teachers industry, educators in general, over the past year. Because here's what happens. Because of these greedy, evil union leaders for the teachers associations, it paints all of them in that same broad brush. I look at teachers completely different. And I say this with my daughter being a teacher. She graduated from Pepperdine, got a job in a public school, was doing fine. I don't want her joining the LA County Unified School District Teachers Union. I don't want her to do it. And thank God she got a great job at Calvary Christian, which is one of the top private schools in all of LA, in the Palisades. So
awesome.
I know, it's incredible.
This is when? This is recent?
Yes.
Phenomenal. That's
3
great
weeks
news.
ago. It's huge.
Good.
I know we had a huge celebration for her. It
was
awesome.
She happy?
Oh my God, she's ecstatic.
Good.
Plus she's starting the soccer program for him too. So
She's still doing the diving or no? She's
no,
not.
This is my older daughter, Brooke.
Oh, Pepperdine. Yeah, you got it.
Okay. So I'm just grateful she's not in the teachers union.
So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.